Hey, good morning, guys. Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Weighing about 167.4, guys. So, weighing's a little bit later today, and it feels good to finally weigh in back at home because Maggie and I have been staying back in Brooklyn for the last 2 nights. And the weighing was kind of inconsistent because it was a different location, different scale, so the caliber was a little off, but it was within the range. It wasn't too bad, and I wasn't panicking because visually I do feel a little bit better, but still have a long way to go. Let's see. Let's get going. First, let's wash up and make some coffee, guys. All right, guys. Breakfast is ready. Gotta refill my coffee. A little clementine. 1 serving of potatoes, 4 egg whites, half a serving of cheddar cheese, and 1 whole egg. And that's gonna be meal 1. I'll put up the macros when I edit the video so you guys can see what I'm working with within this meal. But super hungry, and today's a big day because we want to work out early. However, we have our delivery coming through around 11:45, all the way till 1 between that time frame. So look. This empty space right here is going to be filled up. It's going to be filled up. We are so excited because we've been waiting for a table for like the longest time. And finally the home is actually starting to come together little by little. And it's actually pretty cool, the process. If you believe into that, you get to enjoy every little thing. I mean, from one little wall art to a little table, to little plates. So the thing is if you go slowly, you get to enjoy everything and reminisce more. So I was just telling Maggie, like, remember before we got out TV, we were watching we had a little TV here for my buddy Mike, and we were watching King of Queens on top of like a crate, and we only had like these 2 pieces right here of the couch, and then we didn't have none of this, and then this part finally came around December, and then we hooked up our TV finally, and then after that we got one of these, we got the cable, Maggie got me a little massage chair, so, and then we brought this back from Brooklyn, bought a rug. So little by little things are coming together. We got that wall art right there. Trying to continue the gray theme, the rustic look. Can't wait to show you guys the table. After those guys come and assemble the table, we're going to the gym, and I'll be filming for you guys today. Today's gonna be a heavy upper day, a little bit on the high rep range, so I'm gonna push really hard. I haven't had a full upper day there in a long time. I had it once at Powerhouse, but it was kind of rushed. We finished, right, babe? Yeah. We finished the workout in like 40 minutes or 50 minutes, but we did hit everything. Just sometimes when you train heavy with the compound movements, you would like to rest a little bit longer to make sure you have quality sets instead of quantity. So like yeah, I hit everything. I was feeling sore, but it wasn't progressing with the weights. It was just running myself. I mean, like, if you do 1,000 jumping jacks within 10 minutes, you'll feel pretty tired too. But if you're able to do, like, you know, more with separation of time, added weights, like, you get stronger little by little. So we're going to eat now, and I'll probably film when those guys come. And then we also have to walk to Vinny Boy. Look at him. Vinny. Yeah, it's being sad. So we're just gonna watch some TV and eat. See you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, scratch that.
Coming now?
They'll be here in half an hour. So they just called right now to confirm that they'll be here in half an hour. So they should be here before. I was expecting them to be here around 12, maybe 1 o'clock, the latest. But
always so early.
Yeah, I know.
They're always coming from New Jersey.
Yeah, they always come from New Jersey, and we're so close to Jersey, so we're like always the first stop. Like everything. So for everything we ordered, they're like, yeah, we'll be here from 9 to 12, and then they'll come at like 8:15. But hey, we're not complaining. The earlier they come, the quicker we get to set things up. The earlier we get to use a table, the earlier we get to go to the gym. So everything's working out. We don't have to wait around. And after that, we're gonna clean up a little bit too, right, babe? Because Super Bowl is tomorrow, Super Bowl weekend. We're gonna have some guests come over. That's it. See you guys in a minute. She just realized I'm gonna put this up online. So she didn't want to make a mess sitting over there by the rug. We don't, one rule is like we can't eat there, right? So we're actually gonna sit here and eat together.
No sugar?
I did. It's a mess out there. I don't want to look outside right now. It's a huge mess. That's gonna be the next project, fixing the outside and getting some summer furniture so we can actually enjoy outside, right? Our gazebo got blown down and we're like, it's a blessing, forget it. That's a sign from God. We're gonna just redo the whole thing, right, baby? We're gonna redo the whole thing. Pave the floors, check it out. Oh my God. All right, spending some quality time with the missus. They're here, guys. You hear that? They are here right now. So excited. Check it out, guys. Minutes later, it's finished. This is beautiful. I always wanted a dining set with a bench. Super awesome. Right, baby?
Yeah.
Now we just gotta clean up a little bit. So ready. All right, so we're about to go to the gym. My current pre-workout that I'm taking right now, Post by Legion. This is the blue raspberry flavor, and I've had the grape flavor, and that was pretty awesome, pretty bomb. No, I mean the green apple, that was pretty bomb. So I'm gonna have 2 scoops of this because today is gonna be one of those heavy upper body day. So 2 scoops, and currently I'm using Vasky by MTS, and this is more like a pumped tech. So it gives me some crazy pumps. So my current stack, that's it. And this is going to be my intro workout. We're gonna have to bust this out. Let me see. This is fresh. I haven't opened it yet. Fresh Gatorade. We're gonna have probably 2 servings of this. Yeah, I'll probably have 2. So we will see you guys at the gym. Nosy person.
You too.
So actually, there's a property across from us that it's been listed on the market. Open house showing today, and it's interesting because we've been to a few of our neighbors' homes, and each one of our homes have been differently. The inside structures are different. Some have 2 rooms, some have 3. So this one is right across from ours. So we went in to take a look. I really hate looking at people's open homes, especially when we're not shopping. But I'm helping my cousin out. So we went and we walked inside, and it was like a mirror image of our home, but like reverse. So everything was fully new, renovated. But we did notice that the master bedroom, ours was a little bit bigger. Like, I don't know if it's the way they kind of...
I don't know.
I feel like theirs is like longer, right?
No, I don't know if it's because it's empty in there right now.
Yeah, I don't know. But it didn't feel as open as ours. And
I think it's because there's no furniture in there right now.
It could be it. But everything's new. So the floors, they did a pretty good job. So yeah. Now we're about to go to the gym now. So that's done. Workout time. Alright guys, so we're at Powerhouse Staten Island Gym right now, and we love coming to this gym on the weekend because it's pretty quiet and it has really great machines in here. Maggie and I, we are both actually warming up. Here I'm actually warming up with quarters, and as you can see in the video, the bench is a little bit wider and it feels pretty good. Because usually the bench is actually one of my worst lifts because of my uneven shoulders. I tend to go down a little bit lower on the right side. So I'm able to actually pull back a little bit more on the right side. So most of the time when I'm benching, it seems uneven. So this is actually one movement where I have to work even extra harder to focus on balancing the bar and also focusing on not having like a dead shoulder coming down. So that way I can get the best mind muscle connection on my chest. All right, as you can see, if you look closely, my right side, it's kind of doing more of the heavy pushing. So it's actually beneficial for me to record this because I'm able to actually see what I'm doing, how I look while I'm benching. So that way, the next time when I'm benching again, I can actually try to correct it. Yeah, so right now we're actually playing around with setting up the camera because we've never really filmed while both of us are away from the camera. And so we're just playing around. As you can see, Maggie's looking pretty good on her mini cut. So she definitely put on a little size, a little mass compared to her previous years. So looking at Maggie, her benching has gotten a lot better. To be honest, her technique is a little bit better than mine. It's actually pretty funny because most of her lifts are actually better than mine. And believe it or not, sometimes when I watch her work out, I'm actually kind of visualizing her working out, so that way it helps fine tune my set, my rep. All right, so here goes a footage of a working set. This is 185, and this week we're doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, 8 to 12 reps. And as you can see, my left side is a little bit more stabilized, whereas the right side, I'm trying to compensate a lot by trying to keep it up and not going down too much. Again, this is definitely going to be something I'm going to be working on the next week, trying to, while I'm benching, because I'm always trying to get a little bit better with the bench. All right, next we're moving on to chest supported rolls. This is actually a really great machine because I actually hate doing barbell rolls because for me it's due to my my wrist. No matter how much weight I use, the tempo really messes up my wrist. So I always prefer doing chest supported rolls. So within this gym, there's one where you're laying across, and there's one that's where you're standing seated. So in this clip, you're actually gonna see me do both. So when I do this, I really feel the whole entire movement. I'm making sure I'm going down for the stretch, and I'm definitely making sure my my wrists are straight. So I'm not pulling with my wrist or forearms. And I'm just making sure I'm driving my elbows back and just really squeezing the back. So most of the time when I see people do these machines, they stack up the weight, and what happened is that they're not really tightening up their back. So that way, like, it's hanging, or they're using a lot of their biceps to really drive up, or they're just not squeezing the back enough. So just make sure that you guys are using good amount of weight where you can really go for the extension and also that full squeeze. And remember to always keep your back tight, chest supported, and drive up with your elbows. Here's Maggie's working with the 25s. Usually Maggie really hates working on this exercise with me because, you know, our weight difference is it's like a big, huge gap. So she hates unracking all the weights. And, well, she hates waiting. I usually unrack the weights, but she just usually either I let her go first or she'll let me work out first. And the next movement, we're doing OHPs. And again, these are one of those movements where I have to improve due to my shoulders. As you guys can see, the left side is way more stabilized. If you look at my left elbow and shoulder, whereas the right one, it's really, you can tell it's not a natural look. Like, I'm really focusing hard on just keeping it stable and even. All right, so the next movement we're going to be moving on to will be the lat pull down. So again, with this set right here, I realized that I could have flared my lats a little bit more and drop so I can get a deeper drive with my elbow. However, with this machine, in particular, when it's stacked heavier, it's not as smooth going down. So I really have to switch it up a little bit on my other sets. All right, here we're gonna watch Maggie do her set of OHPs. She's working with just a barbell, and that's about 45 pounds on the high volume days. Chasing the pump, this is pretty intense and heavy for Maggie. Again, focusing on progressive overload is important. However, don't jeopardize your form and technique too much for chasing the weight. Because even I'm guilty of this, where I used to try to move so much weight where the quality of reps wasn't as focused as much on the tension. And I always, now as I'm getting older and more experienced, I'm learning that, you know, there's no black and white area. You have to really infuse both. So yes, form and technique is very important, focusing on adding more weight, it's important too, but you have to do both. You don't want to jeopardize just moving weight and not feel the movement at all, right? So whenever I talk to these younger guys, the tip I really give is just really be honest. I'm not saying choose a weight where it's super easy, but choose a weight where you're actually pushing yourself with good form. All right, guys. So the next movement we're gonna move on at this gym is another chest supported roll. We actually really like this machine, and at the other gym that we go to on the weekdays, they don't really have this machine at the gym. So whenever we work upper body or any back day back at home on the weekends, we try to take advantage and just throw this in there. Again, with this movement, we're focusing on keeping the back tight and just pulling with the elbow drive and not the arm. Again, with these, we like to keep it moderate weight, nothing crazy. We're not trying to go low reps. We're trying to go about maybe 6 to 12 reps and really just focusing on the squeeze. All right, so again, I like to usually throw in about 1 or 2 extra movements on chest days for me because my chest is actually one of the weaker parts on my body frame. It's always been a weaker part due to the shoulder, so the development isn't fully there. So I try to take advantage of adding a little bit more incline presses. So again, when I do these extra working exercises, I don't add too much weight. Like I just really go higher reps and really focus on the mind muscle connection. One thing I've been really trying to do is on the extra movement, like for the hammer press, I will focus on the unilateral movement. Like I'm really trying to push on one side because I noticed that due to my shoulders being uneven, the range of motion isn't fully there. So I always have one side pushing a lot harder than the other. So with this, I really try to focus on squeezing, and I really want to focus on the chest working. As you can see, I'm like closing my eyes and just try to put myself in the zone and visualize myself pushing it. All right, so again, like I mentioned before, I like to throw this in there for a little extra work for my back. Again, the weight's nothing crazy heavy, just enough for me to go higher volume and still go for a deep squeeze. As you can see, my back, it's always has been one of my stronger points, my back and my legs. But one thing I really realized that this off season is that I kind of switched up my back exercises a lot, and I was really afraid that the development was going to be different this time on stage. However, I do notice the smallest improvement. Like it's funny because you train so hard and you expect to have like a super big back or any body part, you expect it to grow and show a lot, but you really don't see anything during the off season until you really start cutting down the layers of fat. And once you do that, you see the smallest detail, and you'll be so happy. After that movement, we actually move into a giant set where we do side lateral raises, and then we move towards overhead presses and also bicep curls. As you can see, the back is starting to lean out. My back has always leaned out faster than the front. Even though we're leaning out a lot faster, we're heading to the right direction. There's still lots of work left to do. I'm still about maybe 15 or 16 weeks out. Again, the main goal is to do the Hercules in 2018 in June, and hopefully I can do a show in May. And I'm just I'm actually not panicking as much this season because I guess I'm just really trusting the process. Whereas 2 years ago during my rookie season, I was actually freaking out, feeling like I'm behind schedule, or sometimes where I'm going out with friends, I'm like, it's messing up with my diet. There's no time to catch up. But one thing I really learned a lot this season is just to enjoy the whole entire process, and just it's okay to have a little extra food, but just don't go crazy and eat a full day of junk food or anything. All right, so one thing I noticed with these overhead presses, I like to focus on the lighter weight, because the last time I did this during prep, I really went really heavy, and my elbows really took a pounding. So I'm really just focusing on moving the triceps while I'm doing these. All right, on the next movement is the pec deck machine, and again, We really like this machine. As you can see, the contraction, the mind muscle focus is really there. My chest is really full looking. It's pumped. Again, I don't go too heavy. I just focus on squeezing really hard and contracting the muscle. And after these, we're moving on to reverse pec deck. However, within that machine, it was pretty hard to reverse and didn't feel comfortable, so I opted out to a side swing with dumbbells. As I mentioned earlier, whenever I do any higher volume movements, I choose to find a weight where I can hit the rep range and still have a good pump and workout. So again, I'm working with 15s because my shoulders are pretty toast already. And here I'm just really trying to focus on the rear delts. Again, you don't have to really go heavy weights. Just choose one where you can really feel the movement and contract the muscle. And that's it. That's the secret. Now it's Meggy's turn to do these pec deck flies. Again, she always makes these look very easy. And like, I'm jealous, you know. It's honestly, like, I'm really proud of her for transforming her body. I know it's not easy, and I'm just really proud of her that she's hanging in there with me and just going through this whole process with me. It's funny because when I was prepping 2 years ago, she went on a mini cut. Last year when she was prepping, I went on a mini cut. So this year she's going on a mini cut again. We're keeping the tradition alive. Maybe next year we'll just gain weight together and just enjoy off season. Next we're moving on to straight arm pull downs. Again, these are just focusing on the lats. Just make sure your arms are straight and elbows are straight and you're coming down. Also make sure your wrists are straight too, because a lot of people, including Meggy, sometimes she would pull down like her wrist. There's a little rolling action, and that takes away some tension from your back. And then after that, we move right into supersets for front raises, cable raises, and these are killer. I mean, we're going high reps, and I can't even go too heavy weights. As you can see, my front delts are really pumped, and it might look easy, but I remember whenever I do these, deep inside, I'm like crying, I'm cringing, I'm screaming. Here we're just finishing up our last set, and this is Meggy's turn right now. And overall, we had a really great session. This was actually one of our first session at this gym where we didn't feel rushed training, because the last few weekends, whenever we train, we have so many things going on where we had to pretty much finish our workout within 1 hour. But this was the first time where we actually took our pace, took our time, just really enjoyed the workout. And the environment and the atmosphere is just great. I mean, people are great, the music's great. Great staff, great equipment, wasn't packed. And I mean, this is definitely the gym that Meggy and I really wanted to join when we moved out here. One of the biggest concern of making the move out here was finding which gym to join. I mean, there are plenty of gyms out here. I mean, any commercial gym you can think of, they pretty much have one within like the 10-minute radius. So we definitely feel grateful that there's such a great gym this close to our house. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.